Yo, 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 y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it do. This is reference here with a blackout edition series. It's definitely gonna be a series. But this one is really different because it came from a download that I received in July. So this one is called Shadow Work in regard to sexual tantra. I know some of y'all like, hey, what's the correlation? What that got to do with anything? Well, that's a good question, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is shadow work in regard to sexual tantra. I didn't really channel this purposely or nothing like that. I was just kind of, in my own thing, and it came through as a download. And at first I was like, oh, maybe I'm just thinking about something, or maybe no. Then it kept coming, so I had to grab me a pen and paper, and there it went. So some things you should share collectively, and some things you should share with yourself or with your spirit family or family, but in this case it's collective. Shadow work in regard to sexual tantra. For a while, all of us has been programmed with porn. For a while, all of us have been programmed with doing things a certain way, or it's been used as an emotional or as a stimulant, or even if it's nothing like that, it could be used as a learning base. Some people just use it just because they learning, and that's okay. That's okay. There are things that we haven't been taught that brings us to the realm outside of just the word porn, and that's what I want to deal with at this particular time. Shadow work, the shadow work within everything, so we could fully engage, or do our best to fully engage inside something that we may be interested in. So and we have been taught the correlation between things in sexual tantra. We have been taught that there's a lot of books, there's a lot of information. We haven't been taught that it's almost like kung fu. Kung fu is everything. Kung fu is every way you move, every which way you do things. Like on the movie Karate Kid, when he just picking up his jacket and he hanging it back up, and then he doing the necessary things, and eventually he learned those was a defense slash counter moves, just by the daily things that they do in their life. However, if one begins to feel like the animal nature of a sexual act isn't enough, well, they should take a step further into themselves, and they'll come up with the topic of sexual tantra. I'm just going to give you what I got in regards to the topic, because I'm sure everyone can go on forever. If the information is out here and I don't know, or I didn't look up, I didn't think to, so I'm just giving you my spill from a mainly spiritual, intellectual standpoint. I still need more tapping in to do with this subject, so it's sort of like each one teach one. I'm also sharing so I can learn something. I don't mind feedback, I don't judge, I don't know it all, but I did receive this. So the first thing you need to talk about is the trauma behind shadow work in regard to sexual tantra, in regards to the relationship and the individual dealing with this. We should communicate. We should communicate because one may have bad memories about such a thing when you're dealing with the trauma and you're dealing with shadow work. One who may be dealing with, say for example, the male was touched inappropriately, excuse me, say if the male was 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 harassed in such a way, something traumatic to where they may have to deal with a friend who took advantage of them, a male, and maybe before they do anything, they whisper in their ear or play a song or anything like that when they was younger, or maybe slightly older than them. Maybe it was the babysitter for a male perspective, just to switch it up. And then this male child gets older, and the individual that gave him this trauma in his way, this inappropriate touching me mentally, just before the act, not even talking about just the whispering and the song, is a shock, is a trauma before they even enter in the act with someone else, not even talked about. So in the beginning, communication is key, and one must find a way to communicate these things or open up, especially if they really into someone and they know they are. So say, for example, she plays a song for him, y'all both, not even doing anything yet. But the trauma aspect behind the individual whispering in his ear before the act and playing this particular song, she played the same song not even knowing. He start crying. But she might have some stuff going on. Both of you aren't even comfortable with anything if continued. Can't even get, these are the negative aspects of such a thing. So communication is key in regard to communication, saying, hey, have you ever been tampered with before, man? Like, have you ever been touched inappropriately? Can we please talk about it, because I don't want to get in a situation where this may hinder us. When all in all, the trauma talk and shadow work, you going and doing your thing with yourself or in communication with your significant in regard to sexual tantra. These things clear up. You want to clear these things up. We not even knowing how important these things are. I got a good reference for y'all on my Facebook page. It's a real short. The brother Rod Haynes, What is Chakra Work? Brother Rod Haynes on my Facebook page, What is Chakra Work? That's a real good one. When you in this type of work and you need help, first thing, realize that it's okay to know that you need help. Of course, it's not okay what you're going through, but at the same time, heading towards the end result, it is okay. So pick your therapist well. Pick a therapist that's on a level beyond what you need help on, or at the least or minimum what you may feel that's good for you. Type of therapist. There's levels of different type of therapists. A lot of positive aspects from this thing will be between you two and yourself as an individual. As an individual, will help with self-reflection. And help with self-reflection doing this type of shadow work. Getting into your own trauma, things that bother you most. Shadow work in regards to sexual tantra. Getting up out of that animal state, that porn state. This stuff helps us with individual self-reflection and duo. Two, do both of y'all some good. Whatever gender you choose, that's not the topic. We going beyond the flesh here. We're not mentioning nothing about no flesh. I ain't say nothing about no flesh per se. We talking about the trauma that you must partake and clear up within your shadow work before one decides to dabble practicality wise, or application wise into sexual tantra. It may be okay to do this in a porn state, even though some of us are not like that. It's not like that for everybody. I'm definitely not judging. I'm definitely not saying, but that's not the point. To talk about some individuality as far as attacking anybody. Anything I say is going to be positive So this is from a student reference teacher perspective. Something all of us could benefit from. All right. The positive aspects of this helps with individual transformation and self-reflection. Duo transformation. This thing make you laughable, Start laughing again. But I told y'all the reference for that. Something to really get an understanding about, and maybe spark your mind about the topic. If you never heard, never bothered to look up. It's a lot of information out here. A lot of mega gigabytes out here, huh? So when you're dealing with shadow work in regard to sexual tantra, there's also negative and positive aspects behind the healing and transformation. Healing and transformation. All right? For example, we label and are confused about anger and its polarity. We must disattach from anger, or the word at least, and dwell in the gaze of the shadow of your own self. Gaze into the shadow of self to become the light. You know what I mean? If you don't, man, it'll interfere with your situations and circumstances that you need manifested. If you do not take the time to go through your own personal healing and transformation in regards to shadow work, if you want to, or in any type of increase in the energy and clarity dealing with sexual tantra, hey, deal with your shadow of the self and become the light within. Clear it up, because interfering with your circumstances, your end result. You can use this transformation to heal your future self, to deal with your past self, your past reflection, your present results, clarity. Bobby Hemmett talks about anger and what anger really is. So in regards to healing and transformation, why have a label of anger? Anger is just a word that was created. And in that word, they told you it was bad. Anger is bad. Anger is bad. You know what I mean? Though you have the word anger, and some people could use it for good. You say, how people use anger for good? You talking, you ain't sounding right. Well, look at Hulk. Hulk defended his people, his friends, his family, ones he loved, and himself with the term anger. But in reality, dealing with the reference of Bobby Hemmett in his lectures, specifically of anger, we must separate the word from the feeling or the energy. Once you say that, we all know it's not of it. You can put upon what you want on it when you deal with polarity, or hot and cold, or negative and positive, and happy. You can use that power or that energy to assist, or you can use that power and the energy to destroy. Why put a label on it? Dig me? Yeah, man. Yeah, we getting it in tonight. Cause I gotta get this out, and I gotta spark all of our minds. Just a simple conversation, nothing raunchy, but very important about our shadow work. It's not just about us becoming a better this and better that, or detach this or detach that, but in the art, in the dance, in the beauty of making love, we want to get it right. We want to get it right, because that is also an avenue for enlightenment on both ends, and both individuals, individually and duo. Okay? There are beautiful results like I said, you can use this transformation to heal your future self by dealing with your past reflection of self, which results in clarity. Having clarity of your situations and circumstances. There's a positivity behind the negative. It got to be a balance. More orgasm flow. You're more balanced and lively. More zest. Add a little zest to your life, huh? New outlook and approach from this reemergence of a blocked energy that typing to sift through, which is yours. A good reference for this is talking about the first secret that came out, dealing with the first DVD and the first book. DVD and the book is the chapter on self-love and talk about the dinero, you know. But when you're dealing with polarity, when you're dealing with healing and transformation, these are the things that will take place, but also these are the things that's hindering you. We label and are confused about anger, which is really just a powerful energy. Get the name up off it. Disattach yourself from the word or the program and study it, which is you or yourself, and dwell in your shadow and become yee water. This is the blackout edition. My name is Reference. My name is Reference because that's all my little self could be to you. Until I get myself together all the way, then I'll be a proper teacher. But I love being a student. Each one teach one. I don't know it all. And if I don't know it, you already know I'll find somebody who knows something about it. Already know. Ain't no need for me to give my spill on it. Sometimes, if someone has done it almost to its fullness, to the point where even though it's you could spend years on one topic, but it's your door. So as a reference, all I could do is show you to a door, but I can't go in there with you. You can't go in my door, I can't go in your door. We can talk about it though. Can't go everywhere about it. Huh? Ooh. Excuse me. Clarity, healing and transformation, dealing with your trauma talk. Oh, excuse me. So I gave you the reference for that. I gave you about 2 references. The Secret and Bobby, him and dealing with that anger joint. So y'all understand what it really is, That's dealing with him and healing and transformation. When it comes to shadow work, in regard to sexual tantra, it can also affect your prosperity. And I'm not talking about earthly just only. I'm talking about above. It can affect your joy. It can affect your internal peace. It can affect your thought sequence. So please know and understand that money, for example, for example, is sexual energy. Money comes from you, vice versa. Your negative outlook on it, upon different avenues to go within, basically your negative outlook on it will stifle you. And the different avenues it takes to go within, it'll stifle you. It'll be a blockage. It'll stifle your gravitational pull for prosperity. We must, some of us, but as a whole, some of us should heal from our non-self-worth about ourselves. The gratitude type of example. That area, the gratitude. What are you doing? What are your thoughts that is creating a blockage? What is going on when you're not dealing with acceptance of yourself? It's a whole lot of negativity in that aspect, but when it's all said and done, vitality will be restored, and your current C will be released like a river flow. Moolah, moolah, moolah. You receive your material things in its full. You receive, so what I'm saying is, let me give you a good reference. It's Brother Panic, the Prosperity Code. That's a real good one. It's real long, but it'll understand. It'll understand. We'll understand a different perspective on how this will increase and clear up any type of blockages or shenanigans going on with your sexual energy. Okay? This is deleting, this is reprogramming, programming, and all that. Like a whole motherboard. What do you say? Money is an illusion? It come from you, right? You are prosperous by nature. But all of us don't feel that way all the damn time. So what we got to do? Money is that sexual energy. Money comes from you. However, try not to focus on the money. Focus on the macrocosm, and everything will rain with it. It's raining money. Your negative outlook on it, man, I'm telling you, you'll cut off all type of avenues that's really, really supposed to be golden for you. You be like, yeah, I'm getting money. What you talk about? I don't need a Well, that's just the metaphor for this thing, because we still talking about shadow work in regards to sexual tantra. If you got to listen to this again to put it together, that's cool. I don't need no one's validation for what I'm talking about. However, questions and opinions and all that stuff was really dope, but I know what I know. And I still got work to do to tap into the subject. But I'm sure we all got a lot of work to do on good old planet of ours. So have more self-worth about yourself. Go within and have more self-worth about yourself. Let it go or get it together. Get your thoughts about certain issues dealing with this particular topic. Let it be removed. No more blockages. You better get that Drano or some bleach and go pour that thing, Your vitality and money, that dough, that euro, that dinero, that, man, there's many names for the cash flow. Let it flow to you. Nice little river. At the end of that river, you'll see a whole flow of a bank. Dig me? So when you're dealing with sexual tantra, man, just remember we was accidentally programmed into staying away from it. Ain't nothing wrong with a quickie getting in beyond animal nature. Little bit of that. You know what I mean? A little bit of water. Water. Ain't nothing wrong with getting into it with a little bit of that, But the prosperity code will give you a good idea about that, because we need to go within the darkness within ourselves and clear up any type of way we may feel about the relationship of money and material things, from a grand scale to a small marble, because they all have a law of correspondence. We all must treat it as a healing transformation, like a butterfly effect. In a movie, that's a dope movie right there. The butterfly effect. Gaze into your shadow. We must go into ourselves in that image where Uncle was whispering to you in your ear and playing his song before the act took place. and it traumatizes you and have you all messed up and ill before anything. Forgive yourself, forgive him, and reverse the situation how you would want it to go in a balanced manner inside your mind. Recognize your power for transformation. It's more simple than we think. You can find definitely some shadow work shorts, some real good shadow work short, few minutes, 15, you know what I mean, something like that, with Mr. Rod Haynes again. And what is shadow work? It's on my Facebook page. I keep myself real simple as much as I can right now. Shadow work in regard to sexual tantra. This is what this is about, y'all. And, you know, when people say, you know, I don't care what people say, they gonna see the correlation in its depths and be like, yo, he couldn't have possibly talked about everything, because this deals with a lot of us and none of us. And I'm just giving my spill on it. And those 3 important topics within the topic. It's your 4th and your last. You thought it was over with? Oh, man. Yo, we finna talk about shadow work in regard to sexual tantra. On a negative aspect, how it creates an entity, a negative entity. Okay? And I'm gonna give you a reference how we can receive help. How we can receive help to clear this up within ourselves. Hey man, what my excuse me, y'all, for one moment. Yeah, so I'm gonna give y'all a reference to somebody much more powerful than I in helping us clear this stuff up and deal with this and give a good explanation so we continue to ascend to our soul purpose before this adventure is over. Whether you want to come back or not, you know, let's dig into the virtue of it. So, an increase of what you're experiencing negatively, these are the negative aspects of it. You feel an increase of what you're experiencing on a negative aspect, and you may become rejectful to yourself or others, therefore going through the same shadow cycle, same shadow work cycle. This is not nothing to play with when you are too focused on the negativity of certain things. You will create a real live entity or deity using your energy. And boy, oh boy, don't get nobody else in the mix. It's going to be the same way. And this affects you sexually, sensually, especially when you want to get into sexual tantra. I'm sure there's plenty of techniques, thousands of hours of information, and people who feel like you should do this and do that and wait on this time, and as much as you put in, you get out, right? Yeah, right, cool. But let's talk about the negative aspects of it and how you can increase and make it detrimental before you even get into it, which is yourself. Are you trying to cultivate or increase yourself in this way through the art of making love, which is a most beautiful thing, you know? So please understand, for example, when you change of attitude dealing with creating an entity, or a change of a personal love of your own personality. You must love your own personal. You must love your own personal self. You must have love for your personality. Like, man, like, it's ever changing. Respect it. Honor it. Love it. You are it. Love yourself. Don't be ashamed to express yourself. However, do it responsibly. You know what I mean? Do it responsibly. And lost and turned down. Lost and turned down. Lost and man, my name is Reference, man. And I love what I do, and I'll be doing it even after I go. You know? You should stay tuned. I follow some bad dudes, man. Some cool dudes. And I'm not a follower, but I know how to follow a good leader. Sometimes it's shadow work, realizing you a leader, but afraid to be one. Well, that's a whole nother one, huh? But in regards to creating an entity with how you think about yourself, how you think about yourself is real important because it's who you attract. In this particular subject, for example, when you create an entity, you strengthen. For example, if you always cheat yourself, when they say God is a jealous God within you, huh? So when you cheat yourself, you shouldn't cheat yourself. Because if you do cheat yourself, for example, how the things work is, when you meet someone, oh, this is the love of my life. Oh, ooh, socket, look at just, oof, look, the love of my life. But you don't buy yourself no sneakers. You don't give yourself compliments or affirmations. You don't do nothing too much for yourself, but you do more for others. So, in regards to strengthening our energy, you strengthening a cheating energy. Because first and foremost, since you're the author of your reality, you say, well, I'm going to attract somebody because that's the natural laws. You say, well, I didn't ask for that. I didn't say that. Well, those are natural laws of attraction. So in the midst of things happening automatically and you doing your I'm cheating myself act, you are programming other elements to go out that work for you and bring you back unconsciously. What you want is a mofo that's going to cheat on you. And then they're going to say, oh, it was me. It was me. I'm so sorry. Man, you can't even get mad because you're cheating yourself, so you attracted someone. God is a jealous God now. So you pulled in another God, because everybody's here to be chosen. Everybody's God's children, right? But you pulled in one that its nature at the time was to cheat on you, regardless, because you cheat yourself. I don't give a damn if it's a pair of sneakers. I don't care if it's getting your nails done. I don't care if it's whatever. You're going to get cheated on. Because you repetitiously, over time, do this to yourself. You get that? I'm sure y'all do. All right? And this affects the Tantra in you. Because you are what we talking about now. We are. Plural. S. Yee. Take a... Lost and turned out. Yo, y'all know I like to listen to that Currency, man. Shout out to Currency, man. Dude got some good music. I learned a lot. Y'all know I like Larry June and stuff, too. He dropped a lot of business stuff. I care less about the pimping and all that. But yeah, y'all know I had a few little notes because this is a lot. And I'm be going I'm going a while with this topic, but in different ways. For real. But so far, we talked about, the trauma of it all, how to heal and transformation, the money, material, and how you create an entity of the negative aspects of this thing. So we want to clear these things up within us before we even give regards to getting into sexual tantra. In regard to dealing with ourselves, that's the biggest step before you thinking you got to read a bunch of books. No. Follow what gravitates or pulls you. Huh? Wherever pulls you. But when you deal with these things, they'll give you clarity. When you're doing your shadow work, you could check out a few names that I already posted on my Facebook. When you're dealing with this shadow work, make sure you go inside and whatever image or horror or anxiety that gave you this memory that you still hold on to, makes you feel some type of way, which I know you do, you have to go in and replay it how you want it to happen. Reverse it. Reprogram your what? Your mind. Reprogram your mind, yo. Cry, release. Ain't, don't matter if you signed a contract to get it done to you before you got here. Let's focus on dealing with the emotions about such a thing. We already know what emotions mean. Prefix and the suffix. Energy and motion. You are the master of your emotions, ladies and gentlemen. Old folks, young folks, boys and girls, whoever listening, this is what it is. Shadow work. Doing your shadow work. Even my black self. Doing the shadow work in regard to sexual tantra. They ain't teach us this in sex ed, Charleston. They ain't teach us this. So I'm just giving my spill. Like it or let it alone. But it's about you. Huh? So the first topic, the secret relative. Second topic, metamorphosis from self-shadow gazing. Third topic, end result to most self-prosperity. Fourth topic, unwelcomed deity creation. Everything is everything. Everything is kung fu. So the moves you make in your mind and the things do in your mind and the kung fu you do in your mind will perform healing. Therefore you shine bright like a diamond. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Shadow work in regards to sexual tantra. We talk about the shadow work. Those was your references. Those was one more reference I wanted to give in regards to the entity, creating negative entities and how to deal with that, and attraction, not cheating yourself in relationships. Mrs. Khadijah, Brother Panic's wife, Mrs. Khadijah Samadi, that's your reference. She still has her page up. I'm not sure if she's still doing anything, but I'm pretty sure she has videos or testimonies or something of the sort. But that's just my spill on it. So, peace and love. Enjoy. Stay up. One.